CTV's W5.
One thing my dad never did was prepare her to be on her own.
A lonely widow looking for new love.
She was just really loving the attention and the affection that she was getting from these guys.
I told her they were all scammers.
But her search for romance becomes a fight for freedom.
We've seen too many victims.
She's looking at serious jail time.
This is just a really, really bad dream. I'm never going to see my mom again.
Here is Avery Haynes.
Welcome to a special edition of W5 from Hong Kong. This vibrant city is a beacon for travelers. They come here for the lively outdoor markets, the breathtaking views from the harbor, as well as the high-end shopping. But this is the story of a Canadian tourist who didn't see any of this. She's a grandmother from a small city in Ontario whose desperate search for love and adventure has ended in a Hong Kong jail where she's facing more than 2 decades behind bars. Angela Thayer hates to fly. Yet here she is, 10,000 meters above the Pacific Ocean, traveling halfway around the world to Hong Kong. It's a trip she never imagined having to make.
I have never traveled outside of North America, and I've never been to Asia before.
That one back there? 40?
It's just an amazing culture, and
Thank you.
the people are so friendly. Being able to experience something that I never thought I would experience. I wish my mom was walking this with me.
Angela is a reluctant tourist. She's 12,000 kilometers from her home in Barrie, Ontario. She's here because her mother, Susanna, is living here, against her will.
I don't know when the next time I will actually be able to see her again. Because she's in prison for smuggling drugs into Hong Kong.
Angela's mother is 64-year-old Susanna Thayer, a mother of 3, grandmother of 6.
She's never had a speeding ticket. She lived a sheltered, safe life and never gotten into anything that's illegal.
A sheltered, safe life, one that was totally dependent on her husband, whom she met when she was just 13 and married 5 years later. Your mom never had another boyfriend other than your dad?
No, that was the only man my mom's ever been with. He really shielded her from the world, not in a bad way, but it's just, you know, he was a police officer, so he really seen all the stuff.
Their marriage lasted a lifetime, at least for Jim. When he died in 2016, Susanna lost her provider, her protector.
One thing my dad never did was prepare her to be on her own and how to look after and protect herself.
Okay, and this one?
5 years passed and the grief faded. Susanna was ready to find love again, and so she went online. And initially, were you thinking, this is great, my mom's gonna have a second chance at love?
That's what I was thinking, because I know there's some guys you can find online that are gonna be decent. She would kind of get like that, just all like giddy and schoolgirl, and she was just really loving the attention and the affection that she was getting, you know, from these guys.
Susanna's family gave us permission to look through her emails and texts.
Hey, babe. Hope everything is well with you.
Hello, Susie. How you doing?
Sweetheart, why the silence?
We need to be together.
One man stood out. He called himself Walter Williams, said he was a military doctor, in fact, a neurosurgeon. He worked for the United Nations on a mission in Syria. Just like Susanna, he said he was 63 and a widower. He bombarded her with love, and their online relationship moved fast. Was she sharing this information with you about the relationship that she was having with this guy?
Yes. And she was like saying maybe he'll become your daddy, your new daddy. And it did make me feel uncomfortable, but I wanted her to be happy.
Susanna nicknamed him the Good Doctor. They spent hours texting each other, and it wasn't long, just a month, before they started saying, I love you. When Susanna came to you and said, I'm falling in love with someone I met online, what was your gut reaction?
My gut reaction was to get off the line.
Sue Ryan is Susanna's best friend.
I told her to be very careful because you can be anybody online. Like, what doctor or neurosurgeon, I would tell her, has time to be on Facebook all day if he's working? It didn't make sense. That's at her house.
But the Good Doctor seemed to always have time to text. Sue showed us pictures of an outing she had with Susanna in the summer of 2022. In almost every single photo, she's on the phone, texting.
I actually felt kind of ignored that visit.
Because he was taking up all of her
Oh,
time.
yeah, she was on the phone 24/7.
With all the affluence I acquired, you are the one that brought happiness in my life. You gave me hope to never give up and be grateful all the time. I cherish you, baby. You mean so much to me.
You are sweet. I adore you.
And I told her, whatever you do, do not send him any money. No matter what the reason. You want to talk to him, you want to do this sexting, I guess it's called, with him. You have your fun, but do not send him any money.
And what did she say?
Oh, I won't.
But she did. When Susanna asked her children for a $1,500 loan, they started digging into her finances and were shocked by what they uncovered.
Several loans, credit cards, lots of transactions being taken off.
What if we told you that the hottest casino in town was actually your phone? It's true.
Lots of transactions being taken off.
Transactions and loans that added up to more than $205,000. Every penny of it sent to the Good Doctor. That wasn't all they found. You found a marriage certificate that your mom had married this guy?
Yep.
Susanna believed she was married to Walter, a man she'd never met face to face. W5 did a reverse search on the photos of Walter Williams, and this came back, scam alerts. Her kids called the Ontario Provincial Police, who said the marriage certificate was fake and that her money was gone, probably forever. Give me a sense of what that was like for her to make the realization that not only was she out all this money, but she was also out love.
I think she felt devastated, hurt, and upset. She was taken advantage of. She was really worried how people are going to think of her, shaming her, judging her.
Susanna had been duped in a classic romance scam. Broke and brokenhearted, she moved into her daughter Angela's spare bedroom, sleeping next to a photo of her late husband. What was that like for her to move back in?
I think she was happy because she felt comfortable, to be with us, but at the same time, it's got to be humiliating and devastating.
Susanna started researching romance scams and realized her hard lessons could help others. Your mom makes a decision that she doesn't want any other woman to be scammed the way that she was scammed, and so she's going to write a book about her experience.
She was working on writing the book, and this guy, James K. Wood, helped her write it.
Who's James K. Wood? Well, he's another man Susanna was now talking to online who used this photo. He popped up right after the Good Doctor scammed her out of her life savings. Another military man, special ops, who lived in California, or so he said. She would send James what she was writing and he would give her feedback on it.
Mm-hmm. when I had asked her, what's he like? Oh, he's really nice and kind and generous. And he wants to protect me, and he wants to give me the world, and he wants to, shower me with gifts. And she was just so tickled pink on how it made her feel. And it was nice to see.
You've just watched your mom be robbed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now a new person is coming into her life. Were you concerned that this new person might not be on the up and up?
Not right away, because I'm thinking, what harm could it do?
You knew that the doctor was a scam.
Yes.
Did you know that James?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, I
And did you tell her that?
I told her they were all scammers.
And what do you believe about the doctor and James?
I believe it's the same guy.
Her best friend Sue believes the same scammer who bilked Susanna out of all of her money had reappeared under the name James. But this second character wasn't asking for anything. In fact, all he was doing was offering to give.
We talked about philosophy, books, my poems. He said he wanted to build a place for homeless children. He would call me to sing to me, push me to work on my book.
This is Susanna's book called I've Been Conned, Book for Dummies. The last chapter includes a text conversation with virtual co-editor James, a man she's convinced she loves.
I love you so much, sweetheart. I love you so much with hearts.
Love has truly been good to me. Not even 1 second or minute of pain have I had since you came into my life.
And she believes him.
She believes him.
Because he's not asking for any money.
Right. Right. So he does this for a year, and then he says, you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to send you on a trip.
Sure enough, in the summer of 2022, Susanna told her daughter Angela that she was going on a trip to a place that didn't sound familiar.
She said to me she's going to Ethiopia. And I was like, Utopia?
The word utopia means an imaginary perfect place. But that's not where Susanna was going. On August 11th, the day before the flight, a ticket arrived.
And I'm like, that's Ethiopia.
The tickets were for Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And when you saw that,
I kind of felt panicked. And one of my first instinctual reactions is don't go.
who paid for her flights?
He did, James.
Early the next morning, Angela's mom woke her up.
She came in, gave me a kiss, and said she loved me. Sorry, that was the last time I seen her.
Coming up,
She did meet with two individuals.
a sudden trip leads to suspicious events
I was very scared, very concerned.
when W5 continues.
August 2022. Small-town widow Susanna Thayer embarked on an adventure of a lifetime. After being bilked out of hundreds of thousands of dollars by someone using this photo in a classic romance scam, a man using this photo came into Susanna's life online, showering her with love and a trip to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Her daughter Angela says it was all expenses paid.
Food, everything, because there's no transactions came out that she had paid for anything for this trip while she was in Ethiopia.
She didn't spend a penny.
No. Actually, the only thing she did spend was she had to buy herself a new pair of sandals because the one she had broke. That's the only money she really spent.
This is the hotel where Susanna stayed for 3 weeks before her life took a terrible turn. Best friend Sue Ryan spoke with Susanna every day on the phone. She went to Ethiopia under the premise that she was going to meet this man.
Yes.
Did she ever tell you if she met him?
She told me she met him. She told me she actually sent me pictures, tried to tell me she went on Safari. I called her on it. I said, you didn't go on no Safari. Those are magazine clippings.
These are the pictures Susanna sent her. Professional photos, clearly not taken by her. And why do you think she was lying to you?
Because she knew what my fear was.
Do you think that she realized when she was there, oh, everything Sue told me is true?
No, I don't think she believed it yet.
Do you think that your mom ever met James in Ethiopia?
No. I don't think she ever met him at all.
Trying to piece together just what happened during those 3 weeks, W5 worked with Ethiopian investigative journalist Samuel Getachew. What have you been able to uncover about where Susanna went when she landed in Addis, and how long did she stay there?
Well, she stayed in Addis Ababa for approximately 3 weeks. She stayed in an apartment-like hotel.
Samuel traveled to the hotel in an upscale part of the capital city in search of answers. Did she meet with anybody when she was there?
She did meet with 2 individuals.
Samuel spoke to hotel staff who confirmed that 2 men repeatedly visited Susanna here during that 3-week period.
I'm actually doing some video.
This is the closest we can come to identifying the 2 men. Cell phone video shot by Susanna.
You'll be good at that. Like, you need to try.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can kind of see one man in the mirror. The other isn't visible at all. What were you able to decipher about who these guys might be and where they might be from?
What we know is they're not Ethiopians, but from their accent, it's a broken English that's frequented in Western Africa, to be precise, in Nigeria.
We know that Nigeria really does have a reputation for being at the forefront of romance scams.
Unfortunately, that's the reality, and we've seen too many victims.
We'll check.
With her mom halfway around the world, Angela started doing some digging.
I'm making $1,000 a month for the rest of my life because I helped this family stop their foreclosure. Let me explain. I use something called creative finance.
Halfway around the world, Angela started doing some digging.
She sends me a picture of this James Kaywood guy. So my son, he knows the internet a little bit better, so he ended up doing a reverse picture lookup. And it said that this James Kaywood is a scam.
That this image has been used by scammers to con women, including your mom.
And I was afraid that if I were to try to talk to her about it, her being so far away, it would be totally disconnect, not wanting, not talking to me.
For the second time, a scammer using a fake photo has tricked Susanna. The first time to rip her off of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this time to lure her halfway around the world. And so when your son told you that, what was going through your mind?
I was very scared, very concerned. But at the same time, I'm talking to her every day. Everything seemed to be fine. She is happy. She is enjoying the nice warm weather and talking to the people at the hotel. She seemed happy.
Besides, Susanna was scheduled to come home in a matter of days. And then a strange development. With her tourist visa about to expire, Susanna needed to leave Ethiopia. The mysterious boyfriend with the fake photo arranged for that to happen. But instead of a flight home to Canada, he had a different plan.
I kept asking my mom, I'm like, what's going on? And then it was, he's sending me to Hong Kong.
The solution was to send her to Hong Kong instead of sending her back to Canada.
Yeah.
Why?
She said that he was out on a mission and that's where he was going to meet her next.
When she was in the hotel in Ethiopia, I told her straight. I said, Sue, I'm going to tell you my biggest fear is that this guy's turning you into a drug runner. If he gives you anything to take with you to Hong Kong, don't take it.
And what did she say to that?
Oh, he won't do that to me. She didn't believe me.
She should have. Right before Susanna left for the airport, the 2 men she'd met in the car brought her gifts. Strange gifts.
I was actually on the phone with her maybe the day before leaving. She was given a suitcase and she was given clothing and she was like, oh my God, I got some clothing and they're really loud, but I'm going to bring them home to you and you can pick what clothes you want out of it. And she was really excited.
This is a photo Susanna took of the suitcase she was given. It was cheap and rickety. She put on one of the new dresses and wore it to the airport for her flight to Hong Kong. Your family had set up Find My Phone.
That was myself, yeah.
So you were able to track your mom through your phone, and you watched as she went to the airport in Addis Ababa, and then she kind of disappeared off the face of the earth.
So I started calling her phone at 10 o'clock, and she wasn't answering. So I texted her a bunch of times, where are you? What's going on? I checked the Find My location. It showed that she was still at the Hong Kong airport. So I was checking every half hour just to, see where she was. And then Find My location disappeared. And then I kind of started to panic.
Angela's panic instinct was bang on. How did you learn that your mom was in really big trouble at the Hong Kong airport?
It wasn't really till the next day.
And what did you learn?
Well, she was arrested. She was arrested for trafficking cocaine. And all she said was, there's cocaine in a button.
In a button. This is the police photo showing 262 buttons that were on the clothes she'd been given in her new suitcase. And this is what was inside of them. Police say it's cocaine, 1 kilogram's worth, with a street value of about $150,000 Canadian.
She said to me, she goes, I just want you to remember, I will always love you. Never forget that. And that I didn't do anything wrong.
Hong Kong drug police announced the bust publicly and released this photo. Imagine seeing your mother like this, with a hood over her head, accused of a crime that could put her behind bars for decades. Susanna was taken here to Thailand Center for Women, a maximum security prison just north of the airport. What do you know about what they do to people who are smuggling drugs in Hong Kong?
I've just heard that it could be lock you up and throw away the key, and you may never, talk to anybody ever again.
Coming up.
If you are the victim of a scam, you're an unwitting drug mule.
Blinded by love and duped into a crime.
What do you think the odds are of ever finding the people who set up Susanna?
When W5 continues.
Helps optimize your checkout flow so you can grow your revenue. And your team can focus on...
Set up Susanna.
When W5 continues.
Angela Thayer is packing her bags at her home in Barrie, Ontario, preparing to travel halfway around the world to Hong Kong. Just weeks earlier, her mother, 64-year-old Susanna, was arrested with cocaine in the buttons of her clothing. She faces the rest of her life behind bars. When you first heard what your mom was accused of, what went through your mind?
This is a horrible nightmare. This can't be true. This is just a really, really bad dream. I'm never going to see my mom again.
There are two reasons that people really get involved in being a mule. These are money and love.
Jason Eli is an expert on the subject. He works for the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime. He's traveled the world studying how drug syndicates work. When you look at Susanna Thayer and her profile, how does that fit in to what you know about drug mules?
Well, in a way, she's perfect, right? She's from a Western country. She's older. She's female, and she's white. So there's this belief that somebody with that type of profile would be less likely to be profiled out by police.
What can you tell us about the connection between Ethiopia and Hong Kong?
A lot more cocaine is flowing in that direction than used to flow. Hong Kong is a major airport in East Asia and a great connection point. The further you get the cocaine away from its production point in Latin America, the more you can charge for it per kilo. So Africa as a continent is a perfect transit location. It has weakly controlled borders, weakly monitored but well-structured ports. It has air connections around the world, and it has governments that I think could perhaps graciously be called accommodating when it comes to criminal markets.
Meanwhile, Angela Thayer has just landed from a 16-hour flight from Canada. She's navigating the busy Hong Kong airport, walking the same steps that her mother took just weeks ago before being arrested for drug smuggling. Her prison visit with her mother won't happen for another 2 days. It gives Angela time to come to this seedy part of town, known for its massage parlors, sex workers, and cheap street food. Angela is here to meet this man. He is a lifeline to her mother. His name is John Wotherspoon. The 76-year-old Australian has lived here for almost 4 decades. He's an advocate for women who've been duped into being drug mules. He even investigates and collects evidence for those facing trial. But Wotherspoon isn't a detective or a lawyer. He's a Catholic priest.
Praise to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Spirit, three in one. Praise and glory forever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
How did it get to be that you, as a priest and a prison chaplain, became this almost savior for drug mules in Hong Kong?
These people are usually vulnerable, lonely, economically in need, easily tricked sort of people, and they are targeted, unfortunately, by the big fish, as I call them, to bring drugs, and we try to help them.
In 2013, Father John launched a public awareness campaign called No More Mules, after noticing a surge of foreigners being arrested on drug smuggling charges.
And then 17 to Kuala Lumpur.
As a prison chaplain, he counseled them, but he also traveled to their home countries to spread the message across Africa, Asia, and South America. Don't bring drugs to Hong Kong.
This is like the sad. It's real life.
How did you first come to hear about the story of Susanna Thayer?
I first heard about Susanna because her daughter Angela contacted me. She found my name on the internet somehow, and as soon as I heard about her, my heart went out to her. I just wanted to try to help.
They've talked on the phone, but this is the first time Angela and Father John are meeting in person.
Angela.
Hey.
Welcome to Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
It's Lloyd's Mennonite Furniture's March Madness sale. Floor models are so drastically reduced, it's like fun.
Angela.
Hey.
Welcome to Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Really nice to meet you.
Good you could come. Really good you could come.
I'm really glad to be
You
here.
look like your mum.
Thank you.
This is our little centre just here.
Yes.
Angela, come on. Welcome to the Dr. Jesus Center. This is Jane, you know, from the telephone calls.
Finally! I've been expecting you. Welcome to Hong Kong.
Jane's a social worker, especially looking after prisoners, and she's visited your mum already, and we're very happy to be able to help you in your time here in Hong Kong.
And I actually really appreciate, more than words can say, on how you guys are helping my mother, going to visit her when I'm not able to.
The time I saw her, she was
people call my phone and they're like,
yeah.
And I got her
telling me
M&M
to give them my information.
And yeah, she told me, oh, I love M&M. So I think that cheered her up a bit.
She said she felt like Job in the Bible, Job was a good person, but then suddenly lost everything. And she felt like that. So I said to her, yeah, but remember, Job had a happy ending, had 10 more children. You've got 10 more kids on the way. She was smiling a bit at the end.
Susanna has just been moved to a medium security prison called Lo Wu. Conditions are considered good by international standards. But still, Susanna does not understand Cantonese and is one of just a handful of Western women. It's the day Angela has been waiting for. She's finally going to visit her mother.
We're about 15 minutes away from the prison. How are you feeling?
Mixed of emotions. I feel like I want to cry because it's also exciting. I have no idea when I'll see her again after it. When I leave this week, at the end of this week, I get to go home, and she won't be able to.
Okay, good luck. Okay.
Thank you.
Prison rules are strict. Visitors are only allowed for 15 minutes a day. Even for family members like Angela, who's traveled 13,000 kilometers to see her mom.
15 minutes goes awfully fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're there talking, and next thing it's, 9 minutes. Next thing it's, a minute and, 52 seconds. And next thing the buzzer's going off, all the other women are going back in, and my mom and I sat there for a few more seconds. Then we had to get up and leave.
Crazy. And what was the first thing that she said to you?
I love you, and I'm sorry. I bawled, I cried, I couldn't stop crying. I just wanted to hug her. It hurt to see her on that side, and there wasn't anything that I could do.
Father John Wotherspoon is a bit of a celebrity in Hong Kong.
Thank you.
He counsels sex workers. Hosts dinners for people with addictions.
We're on the second floor here.
Okay. And his charity, called Mercy Hong Kong, even provides shelter.
So these are women who all lost their job because of COVID.
Most of them, yes. Good morning, anybody home?
Including these foreign domestic workers who were left jobless when COVID hit.
What's your story, quickly? Why are you here?
I'm terminated.
Why were you terminated?
No reason.
Just thrown out?
Yes, just on the spot.
Life is serious.
But Father John, who calls this tiny apartment home, has also become an advocate and an investigator for those accused of being drug mules. Now he's taken on the case of a grandmother from Barrie, Ontario, Susanna Thayer, who he believes was duped into bringing a kilo of cocaine into Hong Kong.
You're doing all the work that you do as a priest, but you're also kind of an investigator, a detective.
Well,
come on.
It's not my job. I'm supposed to be just giving out Bibles in prison, but if I can do something to help.
Well, is it just a feeling that you're having to fill this void because no one's doing it?
Well, this is it. No one else is doing it. It's a job that governments should do, but it's very complicated, a bit dangerous.
In just a few weeks, he will travel to 8 countries over 2 months to personally try to prevent drug mules from coming.
I'm looking at all these little stickers on your map, and it's painting a pretty big picture you've got ahead.
Yes, since 2015, I've used my annual holiday to go to other countries, to visit families of people in prison, to help stop drug mules coming to Hong Kong, to meet with authorities there, And it's been very blessed.
One of the countries Father John will visit is Ethiopia. His plan is to try to investigate who gave Susanna that suitcase filled with drug-stuffed buttons.
That's me. And this crowd surf all started with a hockey bet with Proline Plus. Our picture is...
What do you think the odds are of ever finding the people who set up Susanna?
Good question. Maybe not big odds, but there's a lot of leads.
If those leads can prove that Susanna Thayer didn't know she was smuggling drugs, Hong Kong lawyer Michael Arthur says that could be enough to get her case dropped. What sorts of arguments do you have to make to the courts here to say that this woman should be shown some leniency because she didn't know?
The prosecution must prove knowledge, all right? If you don't know that you've got the drugs, then you can't be knowingly in possession. If you are the victim of a scam, then you don't know. You're an unwitting drug mule.
Originally from New Zealand, Arthur has worked in Hong Kong for more than 30 years as both a prosecutor and a defense lawyer. He has personally defended more than a dozen cases similar to Susanna's. He says in each of his cases, the accused was acquitted, but there were hurdles.
The most difficult thing is persuading the court to allow evidence that these scams go on. Not simply that she was the victim of a scam.
Are you saying that the courts here are not sort of open to accepting evidence that shows that these scammers are legitimate crime syndicates?
They were very resistant to that.
That's why Michael Arthur says it's so important to present evidence that proves Susanna was an unwitting victim. Any correspondence she had with the scammers, the gifts she received from the scammers. And if she can't prove her innocence, what's she looking at for time?
Well, she's looking at serious jail time. I've got a case, nearly 3 kilograms of ketamine, and that's going to attract a sentence in the region of 23 years. So for some of these people with these big sentences, if you're a 70-year-old person and you get a sentence like that, then it's a death sentence, isn't it?
Coming up.
I feel lost and it's just devastating.
Facing a bleak life behind bars.
It would be a life.
When W5 continues.
Angela Thayer has flown from Canada to Hong Kong to see her mother in prison. Today will be her second 15-minute visit. On the drive to Lo Wu Prison, Angela gets a phone call.
So basically, I can't see my mom the rest of the week. At least 7 days, and I leave Friday, so I can't see her. All right, thank you. Bye.
What happened?
COVID.
What?
Someone has COVID in the prison. My mom was close contact, so now she's in quarantine. So it means I can't see her the rest of this week.
I mean, you've traveled so far for 15 minutes.
If I can't see her, I just want to go home.
It's crazy.
Like I feel lost and it just feels like everything's just a big barrier to see my mom. It's just devastating. Because it hurts so much. I just want to go home to my family and I just want to hold them because I can't hold my mom.
Angela makes the long plane trip back to Canada. She flew 13,000 kilometers for 15 minutes with her mother. And now the only way she can stay in touch is through letters. Susanna writes daily.
The pain in here is so real. I don't know how one could hurt as much as I am right now, being innocent, in jail. Why would someone do this to me?
She describes her cell, shared with 15 other women, tells her family how much she misses them, and begs them to forgive her.
I hope you can forgive me for being so foolish.
Oh, man.
I hope you can forgive me for being so foolish.
Susanna gets one 10-minute phone call a month. Angela recorded this call she and her brother received just before Christmas.
I just love you guys.
I love you too.
I'm missing you guys so much. It's unbelievable.
You don't know how much I miss you. I just want you to know that I love you so much, Mom.
I love every single one of my family.
And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all of you guys, okay? And Happy New Year. I want you guys to know that I am completely done with internet dating. This is a rude awakening. I've only got 1 minute left.
I love you,
But
Mom.
I want you to know that I love you all with my heart and soul, okay?
So we'll be going to the hotel where Susanna was staying.
Catholic priest John Wotherspoon has arrived in Ethiopia, and he's teamed up with investigative journalist Samuel Getachew.
How long do they keep the CCTV?
They told me they keep it for about a year.
The duo is on the hunt for proof that Susanna was tricked into smuggling drugs into Hong Kong. The key evidence they need is surveillance video at the hotel where Susanna stayed.
Can you remember her?
Yes.
What can you remember about her?
She will come to customer.
Father John finds a camera-shy waiter in the hotel's lobby who remembers seeing Susanna for the 3 weeks she was there.
Canada. She's a writer.
She's a writer.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Father John tracks down a manager.
If we could get the CCTV.
That surveillance video could identify just who delivered the drug-filled suitcase and clothing.
If you're agreeable, maybe we don't need the police permission. If you're agreeable to help us.
No, it has been done.
She said it's a must. Right.
The manager refused to hand over the video.
Wow.
Father John even went to the local police station to try to get help, but it was futile.
Wow.
And so he left Ethiopia empty-handed. W5 picked up his fight for the surveillance video. After 4 months of emails to police, consular officials in Canada and Ethiopia, even a local lawyer, a breakthrough. Police finally agreed to help get the video. They even went to the hotel with a letter from the police commissioner. But it was too late. The hotel manager claims that vital piece of evidence was deleted 3 weeks earlier.
Cunt. Wow.
Hi, Mom. Hello?
Hi.
Back in Canada, Angela is on the phone with her mom. Both know it could be years before Susanna's case even gets to trial.
I love you, Mommy. I just want you to know that I love you and I miss you so much.
With just 10 minutes to speak each month, connection issues can be frustrating.
Mom? Hello, Mama? I can't hear you.
In the prison telephone room, there's a clock that lets Susanna know when time is running out.
I don't really want you guys to know what it's really like.
I have an idea what it's like.
It would be a life. If I'm convicted and not being able to see my family again. That's the most. It's very hard. And I love Everybody's taking the blood fluids left for Steve.
I know, Mom.
No, it's like crazy.
Yeah, got 27 seconds left. But stay healthy, stay strong, okay?
And same with you, Mom.
I'm gonna lose you. I love you.
I love you. I love you too, Mom. I love you. I love you. Stay on the line and say you love me until you have to go. Love you. I just lost her.
W5 has done a number of investigations into romance scams. To watch them, go to our website, w5.ctv.
That's crazy.
Have a Red Dot Day with CAA
crazy,
every
yo.
day. Dine and save at your favorite
on.
restaurants. Bunk down with great deals on hotels. Save 3 cents per liter at Shell. Get CAA every day.
CTV's W5.
They started searching my bag. That's when everything went wrong.
A cruel con leaves an innocent woman facing hard time.
I wasn't aware that I even had drugs on me.
She's looking at serious jail time.
I felt like life was pulled out of me.
As friends and family rally to
She
free
got out
her.
of jail.
There wasn't anything that I could do.
There's a lot of leads.
I don't even have a name in here. I'm a number.
Here is Avery Haynes.
Welcome to a special edition of W5 from Hong Kong, where we're following the trail of a small-town Canadian grandmother imprisoned here for almost 9 months and facing decades behind bars. Susanna Thayer was arrested at the airport, accused of being a drug smuggler. She says she's the innocent victim of an elaborate and sophisticated romance scam. And now a twist that has shocked legal experts here, and one that has altered the course of Susanna's
Oh, guys, I have to go get some groceries in like 10 minutes.
There's 16 of us in one cell.
It's crazy, man.
I have a chill that goes up my spine every time they close the cell door.
Susanna Thayer has been languishing in a Hong Kong prison for almost 9 months.
I don't even have a name in here. I'm a number. My number is Yatsei Ling Ling Ling, which means 14000.
It's an unlikely place for this small-town Canadian grandmother who's never traveled and never before broken the law.
My 8-year-old granddaughter and my 5-year-old grandson. They are what stopped me from even contemplating suicide.
The crime this 65-year-old is accused of committing could keep her behind bars for the rest of her life.
Crazy.
I was arrested for trafficking. That was a crusher.
For the first time ever, Susanna Thayer is telling her story of how she was burned twice in a romance scam with an unbelievable twist, one that has landed her in jail 12,000 kilometers from home. It all started when her husband, a police officer, died in 2016. He was the only man Susanna had ever been with, and she was admittedly naive.
Yo, those people,
4
like,
years
people like that
after
really
my husband
exist,
passed
man.
away,
Have one partner.
some guy ended up coming onto my Facebook asking to be a
crazy.
friend. He seemed like a very nice guy, and before you know it, he was telling me that he was in love with me and was saying the nicest things that just melted your heart.
What did that feel like to have somebody tell you how beautiful you were, tell you that they were in love with you?
It gives you a high. That's the best way to put it, I think.
The man was quite the catch. This is his profile photo. He said he was an American neurosurgeon working for the United Nations somewhere overseas. He said he was the same age as Susanna, and that he too was widowed. No matter where Susanna went, she was glued to her phone, texting with the man she called the good doctor, a man who lavished her with love.
What kinds of promises was he making to you?
He said he just wanted to be with me forever. He said he wanted to take me around the world and just love me and be with me, and that's all he wanted.
To prove it, he said, the military was preparing the paperwork to make them husband and wife.
How did you believe that you were then married to him? Because you'd never met him.
At that point, I was deeply in love with him, and I wasn't thinking straight, okay? To be honest, I do believe that they do use mind control.
The good doctor said he couldn't access his bank accounts overseas and needed help with his taxes and to pay for a military leave so he could come and see her. Susanna dipped into her savings, and when that was gone, took out loans. And then she asked her adult children for money. Her son and daughter Angela became suspicious.
And you all, as kids, are wondering, why does she need all this money?
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize that the money that she needed was tied to this guy that she had met?
My sister was saying something like, well, she just asked me for $1,500. I ended up responding of, why is she asking for money when she just got a loan?
They called the police, who confirmed that Dr. Williams Walter was a fake. The photo was stolen, and Susanna's money was gone for good.
How much money did you give him?
Altogether, I believe it was $205,000 by the end.
For you to say that now, that you gave him $205,000, what does that feel like?
Foolish.
Humiliated and brokenhearted, Susanna moved into her daughter Angela's guest bedroom, where she slept next to a photo of her late husband. All she could think about was how to stop other women from making the same mistake.
Tell me a little bit about your decision to write this book.
I figured if I could even just save one person, the book was worth it.
She wrote out her story in longhand, describing in detail how she was sucked in.
You're still online?
Yes.
And you meet another man?
Yeah, his name was James Kaywood, or that's who he said he was. The major difference with him is he started calling me. And he talked to me on a regular basis on the phone. So I thought, okay, there's got to be some legitimacy. You know, he seemed like a nice guy, and he was being very courteous to what I was trying to do.
James Kaywood used this photo and claimed to be an American military commando stationed in Asia. Susanna would email him transcripts of her book about getting scammed, and he would encourage her writing.
At one point he goes, I'm working on a surprise for you. I'm going to bring you over here, is what he said.
Helps optimize your checkout flow so you can grow your revenue. And your team can focus on other things, like your customers. Businesses using Stripe's optimized...
What he said.
Before she knew it, she was sent destination Ethiopia in East Africa.
Was there any part of you that thought, this just doesn't seem right? This guy that I've never met is flying me halfway around the world, and he's picking up the tab?
Actually, no, because I did believe in my heart that God might have been giving me a miracle.
You just wanted an adventure.
I just wanted an adventure.
Susanna, who had never traveled out of Canada before, embarked on an adventure that would go terribly wrong. She arrived in the capital of Addis Ababa on August 12th, 2022.
I said, if nothing else, if nothing does transpire between him and I, at least I can thank him for everything that he's done, because he's helped me with my book, he's given me this flight, and he's given me the confidence.
A driver was waiting at the airport, and Susanna was taken to a hotel where the staff seemed to expect her. Even the manager welcomed her.
I felt like a princess, a queen, quite honestly.
I didn't get the video
and I was shown to a room. I freshened up, went downstairs.
But James, the man she hoped to finally meet in person, wasn't downstairs.
Where was James? You were supposed to be meeting James in Addis, right?
Well, James did tell me when he did call me that he said he'll be a couple of days behind me, but he will meet me at the hotel.
James K. Wood called Susanna the next day and the next, saying he was waiting for his replacement before he could join her. The days turned to weeks.
I'd go for walkabouts, and I'd even tell the person at the front desk, and I says, if James asks, shh, he doesn't know.
Why did you not want him to know that you were out walking?
Because he didn't want me to go anywhere. He wanted me to stay in the hotel.
He asked you to stay in the hotel.
But that's not me. I can't do that.
Susanna would spend her days either in the hotel cafe or exploring. She texted her daughter photos of her outings.
While I was waiting, I was enjoying part of Africa.
She never did meet James, but was occasionally visited by these two men who claimed to be his associates. Susanna shot this video when they took her to get a COVID test.
A lot of cars for sale, by the looks of it, too.
3 weeks passed, and Susanna's Ethiopian visa was about to expire. And then James dropped another surprise. He was flying her somewhere else, Hong Kong.
I said, why are you sending me to Hong Kong? He says, because that's where I'm going to be.
Hours before her flight, the man who had been checking up on her for James came to the hotel bearing a strange gift. This suitcase, filled with new clothes. The man took this photo of Susanna wearing one of the presents.
I felt like, wow, you know, I was still feeling like a princess.
The flight from Ethiopia to Hong Kong took 11 hours.
How were you feeling as you were landing in Hong Kong?
I was very excited. I thought, geez, at least now I'm going to meet him, because I really honestly thought he was going to show up here.
Susanna collected her suitcase at the baggage carousel and headed for the exit. And then something happened that would change everything.
Bag broke. 2 of the women helped me put it together, and I said, well, where am I supposed to go? I don't know where I'm going. And she says, well, you can go this way. So they scanned the bag, and then the next thing I know, they started searching my bag. And that's when everything went wrong.
12,000 kilometers away in Barrie, Ontario, Susanna's daughter Angela was tracking her mother on a GPS phone app. She could see that the flight had landed.
So I texted her a bunch of times, where are you? What's going on? I was checking every half hour just to, you know, see where she was. And then find my location disappeared. And then I kind of started to panic.
Angela had no way of knowing that her mother was being detained by airport customs. This is the handwritten report of what they found when they went through her suitcase. The English translation details the discovery of circular large buttons and abnormally heavy dresses. It describes how they used a sharp-tipped spike to poke inside the buttons.
What did they find inside your luggage?
Cocaine in buttons of dresses, in the dresses that were apparently a gift to me.
Did you have any idea that there was cocaine in those buttons?
I didn't even know there was buttons, let alone cocaine.
At what moment did you realize, oh my God, I have been scammed again, and this time it's going to cost me more than just money?
When the handcuffs finally went on and I was arrested for trafficking.
This small-town grandmother was given the full drug trafficker treatment, charged, hooded, and paraded in front of the cameras.
When they threw that hood over my head, they didn't even tell me they were doing it. I just felt like I was being kidnapped. To this day, I felt like I was kidnapped.
Coming up,
I was afraid I was going to die in jail.
hope fades as time passes
She's never coming home. They'll never see my mom again.
when W5 continues.
What if we told you that the hottest casino in town was actually your phone?
Coming home. They'll never see my mom again.
When W5 continues.
best known for its sky-high towers, lively markets, and harbor views. But one Canadian woman who's been here for 9 months hasn't seen any of that. In fact, Susanna Thayer hasn't seen much more than the inside of this prison. She claims to be an unwitting victim of a romance scam. Police say she's a criminal, a drug trafficker.
What was the conversation like when you had to call your daughter, Angela, and tell her what happened?
One of the hardest things I had to do. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I didn't know. And I felt terrible. Also, it was so embarrassing to think that, oh my God, I've been conned again.
Hong Kong police issued this news release with photos of a hooded Susanna Thayer and of the buttons from the clothes inside her suitcase. 262 buttons that were filled with more than a kilo of cocaine. Susanna was transported to the Tai Lam Correctional Institute, a maximum security prison for women.
I was afraid I was going to die in jail and never see my family again.
That fear was also being felt on the other side of the world, in Canada.
I was just thinking, oh my God, she's never coming home. I'll never see my mom again.
And so her distraught daughter Angela made a decision. She would go to Hong Kong to visit her mother in prison. W5 documented her lengthy journey from Barrie, Ontario.
We're about 15 minutes away from the prison. How are you feeling?
Mixed of emotions. I feel like I want to cry. It's also exciting. At the end of this week, I get to go home, and she won't be able to.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for coming through.
Okay, good luck. Okay.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the crew, Peter. Be a part of the family.
Angela walked into prison knowing she would only get one 15-minute visit each day. Those minutes inside felt like seconds.
But I have to go soon, so I think I'm going to finish this, though, guys.
What was the
Because I
first thing that
hate
she said to
leaving
you?
and not
I love
saying
you.
hi, saying bye.
I'm sorry.
I want to let you guys know I appreciate you watching this with me.
Stop crying. I just wanted to hug
Thank
her.
you so
It
much.
hurt to see her on that side, and there wasn't anything that I could do.
The next day, Angela made the journey back to prison for her second 15-minute visit. And then a devastating phone call that changed everything.
So basically, I can't see my mom the rest of the week. All right, thank you. Bye.
What happened?
It's different
COVID.
watching it this way.
What?
Like, it hits different.
Someone has COVID in the prison. My mom was close contact, so now she's in quarantine. So it means I can't see her the rest of this week.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, you've traveled so far for 15 minutes.
If I can't see her, I just want to go home.
When you found out that you would not be able to have a second visit, that Angela is here in Hong Kong, but not able to see you, what did that do to you?
Killed me. I felt like life was pulled out of me. They didn't want me to see my girl.
Angela traveled 12,000 kilometers for one 15-minute visit with her mother. She flew back to Canada, and our investigation began.
What's she looking at for time?
Well, she's looking at serious jail time.
We wanted to find out from Hong Kong lawyer Michael Arthur just what Susanna was up against in her criminal case.
If someone is stopped at the airport with drugs coming into Hong Kong, prosecuting authorities say that's a strong prima facie case that that person was carrying drugs.
We don't care about whether they knew.
No. And no matter how often they say that I've been scammed or I didn't know, sorry, we've got a case here. This must be prosecuted.
I'm actually doing some video.
There is key evidence in Ethiopia that could help Susanna prove that she was tricked.
You need to try.
Yeah.
There's this video she took of the men who were associated with James K. Wood. And security cameras at this hotel might have captured the person delivering the drug-filled suitcase. Our repeated requests for police in Ethiopia to investigate have been ignored. And so we've come here to a seedy part of Hong Kong to meet a man who's made a name for himself helping women like Susanna.
These people are usually vulnerable, lonely, economically in need, easily tricked sort of people, and they are targeted, unfortunately, by the big fish, as I call them.
It's Lloyd's Mennonite Furniture's March Madness sale. Floor models are so drastically reduced, it's like...
And they are targeted, unfortunately, by the big fish, as I call them.
He isn't a detective or a private eye. 77-year-old John Wotherspoon is a Catholic priest, prison chaplain, and the man behind a global campaign called No More Mules. Through his charity, Mercy Hong Kong, Father John advocates on behalf of unsuspecting drug mules in Hong Kong prisons. Sometimes he even helps investigate and collect evidence for their trials.
What do you think the odds are of ever finding the people who set up Susanna?
Good question. Maybe not big odds, but there's a lot of leads. 17 to Kuala Lumpur.
The timing for Susanna couldn't be better. Father John is about to embark on an 8-country tour, warning about the dangers of smuggling drugs into Hong Kong. And one of his stops is Ethiopia. He's agreed to take on Susanna's case and try to collect evidence while he's there.
We know the room where she stayed. We know that guy, the date, the time, he traveled a number of times to that hotel. So we're hoping that sort of information can lead to an arrest.
Weeks later, Father John arrives in the capital, Addis Ababa. We've connected him with W5 freelance journalist Samuel Getachew in the hopes they can track down the hotel surveillance video.
If we could get the CCTV.
Together, they approach hotel management.
If you're agreeable, maybe we don't need the police permission. If you're agreeable to help us.
No, it has been done.
She said it's a must.
The answer is no. And so we bombarded anyone who would listen with requests for help, including Ethiopian police and the Canadian consulate. Eventually, a breakthrough. The police agree to direct the hotel to hand over the surveillance footage. For Susanna's daughter, Angela, back in Canada, it's the first piece of good news in months.
It was a major breakthrough because that was like the key puzzle to really proving my mother's innocence and capturing who the real bad guy was.
But then yet another blow to Susanna's case. That video was mysteriously deleted by someone at the hotel.
And I was really angry that they could do that.
What reason would they have for deleting it?
Well, if they're deleting it, they got something to hide.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen or investigated before, for sure.
Detective Sergeant Chris Nicholson is a fraud investigator in Angela's hometown of Barrie, Ontario. Even though it's well beyond the scope of a municipal police agency, Detective Nicholson took a full report from Angela and reached out to police in Ethiopia. He requested the hotel surveillance hard drive be sent to him in the hopes his cyber team might be able to restore those deleted files.
It was a very troubling response that I received from the police service.
What were they asking?
They're asking for a cash payment in order for it to be released.
Wait, so the police in Ethiopia are saying to you, give us money and we'll give you the hard drive?
That's correct, yeah. I'm not prepared to be blackmailed into getting a piece of evidence.
So the hopes of getting the hard drive are dead.
I had to stomach that I would never get this security footage. So I had hit a giant dead end.
And so Detective Nicholson hoped his words might help set Susanna free.
This was just a last-ditch effort for me to try to hopefully reach somebody's ears.
This is that last-ditch effort, a letter that he sent to the Canadian consulate in Hong Kong, believing it might then be shared with the prosecutor involved in Susanna's case.
Just a couple paragraphs on what romance scams are, and here is Susanna. And when you hold Susanna beside the romance scam prototype, if you will, it's a perfect match.
So you recognize that you're never going to catch the people who did this to Susanna, but maybe you can play a role in helping her get out of prison.
Yeah, my number one priority became getting her released from prison and then having her come home safely.
And then the unexpected.
On the 270th day of your incarceration, everything changed.
It did, 100%. I couldn't believe it.
Coming up.
So they told you if you want to speak to your family, you have to do this interview with us without a lawyer.
Exactly.
An interrogation with suspicious intent.
I signed it only because I was told I had to sign it.
When W5 continues.
God. Trading is not for everyone, but if you are a trader, plus...
Because I was told I had to sign it.
When W5 continues.
Shout out to W5.
65-year-old Susanna Thayer has been held in a Hong Kong prison for almost 9 months on drug trafficking charges. Her request to be released on bail was denied because of what the prosecution said was strong evidence against her. And then our first documentary on Susanna's ordeal, The Cocaine Buttons, aired.
When you first heard what your mom was accused of, what went through your mind?
I'm never going to see my mom again.
It racked up millions of views on YouTube, including in Hong Kong legal circles. Shortly after, Susanna was, out of the blue, summoned to this courthouse.
They had no warning at all, and she had no warning either. It's all happened very fast.
It's kind of head spinning, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hong Kong lawyer Michael Arthur, who has been closely involved in Susanna's plight, says with no reason given, the case against her was dropped.
How unusual is it for a drug smuggling charge to be dropped like this before it even goes to trial?
Very unusual. What I want to know is what changed between the time that the prosecution said the evidence against her was strong and when the case was dropped. Something must have happened. All I can conclude, and I don't really know, is that they watched your program. I think it put some pressure on them.
Oh my God.
270 days after arriving in Hong Kong.
This is beautiful.
Susanna Thayer is finally able to see the city she feared she'd never leave.
The wake of the boats, air on your face. It's like a dream.
She's just like, she really went for an adventure. Oh my God. She really had an adventure.
I didn't know I would ever see you a free woman.
Oh my God.
I can't get over it because I believe you had a major role in helping me get free. They don't even know why. Why all of a sudden did they say I'm free?
Has it sunk in, Susanna, that this is over, this is done, you're going home?
Not 100%, I don't think. I think once I'm on the plane,
get out of there,
and I touch down in Canada, it's going to be a completely different world again.
It hasn't really sunk in either for Father John Witherspoon, the prison chaplain who tried to get evidence in Ethiopia and repeatedly visited Susanna behind bars.
Not that hot.
Oh, good to see you.
I can't believe it.
You look well.
Here.
This is hard to believe this is happening.
Oh my God, when I was told at 9:30 that I was going to be discharged.
Hey, Mom.
How are you?
Again, you're free?
I'm actually free, yes. They let me go this morning. They dropped my case completely. It's not a dream, okay? It's not a dream. I thought it was a dream
It's
too.
a freaking
And then all of a sudden
adventure
it was
for
like,
you. That's
oh
what
my
it is.
God, this is real.
You're lucky.
I love you.
These people still in jail.
Really? I'm out.
Father John has arranged for Susanna to stay here while the final paperwork to get her back to Canada is completed. It's not fancy, but then again, it's not prison.
What was that like when you opened your eyes and realized you weren't in jail?
I went outside onto the balcony, and this bird literally came and perched itself near me and just started singing as if it was talking to me. And it was like so beautiful.
Oh, God.
Susanna is making the most of her newfound freedom, but the memories of prison are still so fresh.
I was Yahtzee Ling Ling Ling, 14000, which was my inmate number. They strip you of all your identity in there. And I felt like I deserted my family. It was like I was dead. Because when you're in jail, time has no meaning.
There's anger, too. Some of it stems from what happened here at the Hong Kong airport when she was first arrested. Susanna says she was kept here and interrogated for days before being charged. We have the videotape of the final interrogation.
How do you feel about watching it?
Scared, nervous, because it was just before they charged me with trafficking.
The interrogation video lasts for 97 minutes. On the surface, it seems fairly standard.
Please state your name and your passport number.
My name is Susanna Thayer, and I don't know my passport number without looking at it. I'm sorry.
But just a few minutes in, it becomes clear that Susanna felt pressured to speak without a lawyer.
Did you agree to conduct this video interview in the absence of your legal representatives?
I would prefer not to. However, you told me I have to, so.
So
I'm answering it honestly.
So they told you if you want to speak to your family, you have to do this interview with us without a lawyer.
Exactly.
And in the interrogation video, Susanna reveals that she felt coerced into signing some documents.
Please recognize this one.
Yes, I did sign that. However, I signed it only because I was told I had to sign it in order to continue the process so I could make a phone call, which I never was allowed.
So you recognize this?
I do recognize this, even though I disagree with being charged with something that I had no knowledge of.
Over the course of an hour and a half, Susanna tells her story of being conned, and she repeatedly proclaims her innocence.
Crazy.
It tells her story of being conned, and she repeatedly proclaims her innocence.
I wasn't aware that I even had drugs on me in my bag. I did not know they were in the buttons of the tops.
At one point, they bring out the contents of her suitcase and put it on the table.
Is it marking?
My head was just whirling at that point.
I'm sure.
Can you recognize this one?
No, quite honestly, I don't remember seeing any of them, okay?
Okay.
All I saw was some bright colors. That was it.
When they started pulling out these dresses and then the bag of buttons, what's going through your mind?
I can't believe this. This can't be happening. You know what the ironic thing is I don't like buttons. Look at any of my clothes I brought. Did I have buttons? Do I have buttons?
You see this?
I see it now, but I did not know of any of it.
I can see you getting more and more sort of irritated and combative.
Prior to them doing this videotape, they went through everything with me prior, and they spent hours interrogating me.
So there were two separate sort of interrogations, one without cameras and then this one with
Yes.
cameras. Susanna says before the video camera was turned on, she was handcuffed to the chair and interrogated for 16 hours, all without a lawyer.
Did you have anything else you want to say to us?
I didn't do it.
Okay, that's it?
I'm not a drug dealer. I was unaware. Maybe I'm still frickin' naive or because of what the guy did to me, the good doctor that I call him in my book. I don't know why. I believe people are honest.
She's a really good book writer.
Okay, I believe in God so much, like he wouldn't be. And I've been praying to him the last couple of days, saying, like, what happened? What's wrong? Why did this happen? If you notice, I did say the last couple of days because that's how long I was there just before they charged me. I don't do bad things, but bad things seem to happen to me. Why? Why? That's the question.
Okay, the time now is 20:03 and the video record interview is finished.
When this was done, they put a bag over your head and took a photograph of you.
Yes.
What was that like when that bag went on?
I felt like I was a murderer. I wanted to collapse. And I think they were literally holding me up because my legs just went to jelly.
They were doing their job.
I couldn't believe it.
We have questions for the Hong Kong Department of Justice. Why was Susanna denied a lawyer? And why was her case so suddenly dropped? Our request for an interview was turned down. Instead, we were sent this statement. The Department of Justice does not comment on individual cases. A prosecution would only be commenced if there is sufficient admissible evidence to demonstrate a reasonable prospect of conviction.
I don't blame Hong Kong police.
Susanna wants answers and has sent this letter to the magistrate court in Hong Kong.
And it's from her home address in Canada.
Lawyer Michael Arthur has reviewed it.
She says she would like to know the exact date upon which it was decided to abandon the prosecution. In other words, was she still sitting in the prison while they had decided that there was going to be no case against her? Was she serving time, if you like, there, which she ought not to have been serving?
And I'm guessing you as a lawyer
she's-
would like to know because it could help you
Just
in
let it go.
upcoming cases.
That would be quite right, if we knew the actual reason why they did it. But I'm not confident that we will ever get that.
Right now,
Sending them
all
a letter.
Susanna is focused on is
I
getting
would've been
back to
like,
Canada. With the immigration paperwork
I wouldn't even
nearly
tell them my
complete,
address.
she scours the local markets
Wow.
for some last-minute gifts.
We're just so happy to see you on the outside. I'm sure Jane feels the same.
Yeah, it makes me feel that all our hard work is worth it.
Yep.
Father John and social worker Jane Chow dedicated vast amounts of time and energy to Susanna's case. They want to make sure that she doesn't get into trouble again.
You have to be careful now. Everybody's thinking now, please God, no more trouble. This is second time, no third time, no next time, no more times. Have to be careful, the internet. And
No online dating, please.
Oh, God. That's taboo, even for me. I've already decided that in jail a long time ago. I've become a changed person.
Coming up,
Why do you think that some people in your family can't get past this?
a broken family not ready to forgive.
I always thought that they
All
would
that
back
money?
me up.
When W5 continues.
Helps optimize your checkout flow so you can grow your revenue and your team can focus on
Guys, I love you guys so much. Let me
I
go
always
do this
thought
and
that
come
they
back.
would back me up.
There's like 10 minutes left. You know what? Let you guys
continues.
finish it though. Like 5 minutes left. It's a good show. It's a good one.
I'm in disbelief, quite honestly. I can't believe, for starters, that I'm actually on my way to the airport. I'm going home.
Susanna Thayer is returning to the airport in Hong Kong, where she lost her freedom so many months ago.
Boy, in my heart, I don't know what's going to happen when I get to the airport. Am I going to see these security guards and these customs that put me in prison? Are they going to search me again?
12,000 kilometers away in Canada, her daughter Angela is filled with anticipation.
I can't believe this is real. Like, am I really gonna see my mom? It's over.
I go to Tokyo first. Well, there's CX548 there, so where do we go?
Volunteers with Father John's mission help Susanna navigate the sprawling Hong Kong airport.
Hello.
She hands over the paperwork that allows her to leave the country, and then a few tense moments as a supervisor is called over.
I was innocent, okay? They dropped the charges.
Oh, you have paid, right?
Pardon?
You have paid the fee for overstaying, right?
Yeah. I was in jail because they locked me up, and then they dropped the charges, so they let me go. So I'm trying to get home.
So maybe after checking, you just post it.
Yeah, I've got to go to immigration, right? Because this has to go to them too.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Susanna makes it through immigration without incident. She's going home. 14 hours later, her daughter Angela pulls up to Toronto's Pearson Airport. At the arrivals hall, she scans the faces of passengers searching for her mother.
Oh, is that my mama? Is that my mommy? I missed you so much. I missed you too. I'm so glad you're home. When you came in, I'm a little blind. I'm like, wait, Hank, I think that's mommy. Is that mommy? That's mommy. Oh, I'm so happy you're home. Firework!
Hi, Jim. Thank you for passing through. I'm gonna end this in like 5 minutes. I have to go do something.
Susanna is back living
but I'm gonna
in her
come
daughter
back later.
Angela's guest bedroom.
I hope you come join
trying
me
to
then.
put her life back together.
Please subscribe, Jim. I need you
How
guys'
do you
help.
feel that you have changed after this unbelievable experience of being conned once, conned twice, turned into a drug mule, and then thrown in jail?
I'm more cautious now. I felt I was going to spend the rest of my life and die in jail. And so I'm happy that I'm able to sit here today. And that is the good ending to what happened to me.
It may have only been 9 months, but 9 months is a lifetime, you know, because life is precious.
Not everyone in Susanna's family has been able to forgive or forget.
One of the things that kept me going when I was in prison was knowing that I had family to come home to. And when you come home and you know that that family's, that is something that's very hard.
Why do you think that some people in your family can't get past this?
I think it's because they feel like they're the victim, and them not even realizing that you're a victim of a crime, that you're the person who actually is the one that was hurt.
She's lost the support of some family members. She lost her life savings and, for 270 days, her freedom. But there's one thing Susanna has not lost.
Have you given up on the prospect of finding the healthy love in your life?
No. I hope there's someone out there that truly believes in me for who I am, respects me for who I am, and can love me for who I am.
2 months after returning from Hong Kong, Susanna is going out on a first date with a real man.
We're gonna go fishing. Now this is freedom.
Oh my God, he kills her on the beach, in the water.
You're a natural. And I'm legit.
I love it.
I hope this guy's a good guy. Fuck.
There's still some good guys out there.
I hope so, buddy.
I'd love to be able to say I love you to someone with my heart and them give that to me in return, because you don't have anything if you don't have love.
Oh man, thank you guys. I'm gonna run and go do this, and I'll be back in a bit, okay? Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys.
If you missed our
Thank
first
you.
investigation, the